Even though people often feel conflicted about money and its energy, the truth is that this aspect of our realities is extremely important because it helps us access a better lifestyle. There's no denying that money ultimately helps us access better experiences in the midst of our earthly journey, so finding balance with that energy is necessary. The way many choose to view money as something positive that allows us to lead a comfortable life and help others is what, in many aspects, helps them manifest money in a better way. Even a stable and abundant financial situation reflects what we have within us, and our inner self-improvement work can be the key to economic abundance. Amidst all this, it is necessary to consider that, just like with other energetic matters, economic abundance is something that can be foreseen, as energy can be felt even before it settles into our lives. That's why, grounded in the teachings of Dolores Canon, we are going to dare to explore the signs that may be indicating that financial abundance is about to pour into our lives. So pay close attention, because the universe might be announcing good news for your life, and you might not be seeing or understanding it. Number 1. We start worrying less about money. While from many perspectives, a lack of concern for monetary aspects may imply immaturity or irresponsibility, the truth is that in very specific cases, it may be foretelling the arrival of abundance in our lives. Let's remember that our souls are capable of holding complete information about everything around us or what is approaching us. According to Dolores Canon, our soul has the ability to make us react to the presence of energies and things that, even though we may not be consciously aware of, are already approaching us, and we recognize them from our being. It's important to understand that our soul manages, even before we know, the news of what is coming into our reality. Many times, we associate this lesser concern for money as an indication that an economic change is on the way. Not just any change, but a truly positive one for our reality. Therefore, the soul feels that it no longer needs to worry excessively about something that the universe has already covered, and to which we can gain access through our internal reform. From the moment our being aligns with the energies of abundance and prosperity, our entire body can feel that energetic flow, and our mind seems to gradually calm to the point where financial matters are seen as something that is already accomplished or covered. This premonition of a more favourable economic reality can feel like abandoning a large bag full of stones, representing a weight that seems to increase over time and ultimately hinders a person from moving forward. But from the moment we understand that everything is energy and configure our being with the energies inherent to money and abundance, letting go of anxieties and uncertainties, it seems that everything begins to flow more smoothly and that great extra weight is set aside. That's why often when you see a person decreasing their concern about money and how we are going to obtain it, we may be witnessing how their inner work is bearing fruit and bringing them closer to that coveted abundance we all desire. Our inner self feels in harmony and understands that whatever arises will be covered. That's why it allows itself to release these burdens and walk with greater self-assurance and confidence in the future that awaits. Number 2, we change our mindset regarding money. It's normal to think that if a significant change in our financial reality is about to occur, our perspective on this aspect of our life also changes. This shift happens to align with the energies of abundance and prosperity. There's no need to worry if your previous relationship with money and your view of it end up being completely different from what you initially had. It's a normal part of the journey we are undertaking towards that new economic state. The way money manifests in our lives depends a lot, or practically entirely, on the mindset we have regarding it. Because, as we know, the reality that embraces us is a product of our internal state. Some people's economic limitations are often generated from economic ideas and beliefs that have been passed down through generations. Hence, they adopt them as normal or correct. This is more common than one might think, and it seems that humanity as a whole has become accustomed to viewing it as correct, that money is something challenging to access. This premise, as we hold it within ourselves and empower it, ends up affecting the flow of money. If we perceive money as difficult to attain, everything will indeed configure itself to make it genuinely challenging to reach. Many challenges will arise, and it will seem as if the universe wants us in poverty, but it's not really the universe leading us to that state of limitation. It's ourselves from the perspective with which we are viewing things. Even our conceptions profoundly affect what we are seeking to manifest. Another common mistake people make is seeing themselves as beings prone to scarcity and giving power to that energy simply by its presence within us. Just like in other aspects of our lives, everything we keep present within ourselves ends up taking a bit of our attention and therefore our energy. Daring to release the energies and thoughts linked to poverty implies that the change generated in our lives will be associated with other energies that do not find a place in our lives due to our insistence on talking about scarcity. A sign that money is about to enter our lives in complete abundance is the departure of all these negative thoughts of poverty and scarcity, making way for joy, abundance, prosperity, and financial freedom. As we stop seeing money as something limited or coming from limited sources, we can perceive how that money comes abundantly, in infinite streams and through channels we may have never considered. Number 3. Unexpected findings of money. Although it may seem somewhat trivial or even routine for some, the way money seems to manifest in our lives is not only through our work, not even through strokes of luck, and it doesn't have a specific amount. Therefore, the appearance of unexpected money in spaces where we inhabit is a clear sign of the upcoming change. Beyond the amount or the way money appears, these small encounters, besides causing a pleasant surprise in the person, end up making their being aware that something is brewing for them in an economic aspect. When we allow ourselves to appreciate these little surprises from an energetic perspective, we realize that our vibration seems to be attracting what we are seeking. A person who has dedicated themselves to working on their economic part and starts experiencing these small demonstrations of change in their life should prepare to open their arms as wide as possible and receive the blessing that is coming to their life. It has been demonstrated that unexpectedly appearing money has a much larger connotation than is apparent and is sending us a message from the center of the universe. Perhaps at this point, some may not fully understand where the term unexpected findings of money comes from, but if we provide examples, it will likely be recognizable to our being. We've all had moments where we put on a jacket after a long time, and when we put our hands in its pockets, we find money that seemed forgotten or lost. We've also experienced how women, using a purse that is not part of their regular wardrobe, end up finding small sums of money in one of its compartments. Another example is when someone walks down the street and ends up finding money on the ground, even in crowded places where it seems no one had noticed that precious gift, as if it were waiting just for us. This point goes so far as to talk about people who, while collecting the belongings of their departed loved ones, come across bundles of money they didn't know existed or its whereabouts. The ways in which these small encounters with money can happen are extremely varied, and the most important thing is to recognize that they are associated with the impending change in our lives. Especially when it comes to coins, regardless of their lower value compared to other forms of money, these little friends become powerful allies for the person to receive the news of the upcoming abundance. Let's accept this money with joy, with great faith, and thanking the universe for giving us the clear signal that a new era is approaching for us. Number 4. The doors of opportunity open. As the title itself suggests, during the period leading up to the manifestation of money and abundance in our lives, we may experience the appearance of multiple financial opportunities. These opportunities not only contribute to the change, but also serve as notifications of what is coming. According to Dolores canon, the manifestation of money and other aspects of our lives comes from our internal state. Therefore, it is entirely natural to see how aligning our energies with something leads to a transformation in its favor. From the deepest part of our being, we emit the energy that draws absolutely everything into our lives. Our reality is nothing more than the exact reflection of what we harbour within ourselves, becoming a tangible form in our lives. That's why each day we live becomes the result of what we previously held within ourselves, and each coming day will be the result of what you are currently gestating. But not only that, we also create the events that occur in our lives. We attract with our energy the people who surround us and come into our lives, even if only briefly. It is through the alignment of the physical with the right people that we end up causing each of the events that take place in our lives, from the most beneficial to those that are truly negative. However, each of these events ultimately plays a part in the supreme plan that falls upon our lives to fulfill their mission, because each soul has a purpose and finds a way to fulfill it in the course of its journey. One of the purposes of our lives is to live in well-being, and this is something that we will achieve through our internal work, necessarily linked to how we develop in the material realm. That's why when we manage to bring our being into balance and perfect harmony with the energies of money, abundance, and prosperity, noticeable changes begin to manifest in our reality, indicating the direction we should take. One of these changes will be the shift from our current economic position to where we are heading. This can only be possible through a change in our work environment, our profession, or the way we practice it. Therefore, we will see how interesting proposals and opportunities will start appearing, even without actively seeking them, to make your economic flow more stable, fluid, and in line with the new economic reality that is coming your way. One way in which this signal can manifest is through the approval of a credit opportunity, a new job, or similar possibilities. When these opportunities appear in our lives, they should be seen as a prelude to a new financial life. Number 5. Repeatedly visualizing the number 7. For those who already have some knowledge of numerology and how through these numbers and numerical sequences, it's easy to understand the reason for the repeated appearance of this message. However, let's delve a bit deeper to comprehend how the appearance of this signal may accurately foretell a new economic reality. To unravel the deeper aspects of the repeated appearance of the number 7 as a message from the universe, we must explore a bit of what Dolores Cannon expressed regarding this number. According to her, the number 7 represents spiritual fullness, a state that symbolizes complete balance, purity, and the flow of the spirit with all the energies surrounding it that converge in one's life. But how does this relate to our new economic reality? It's quite simple. When our being is in harmony with the energies of the universe and aligns with them, it ends up receiving their benefits, making all its desires manifest. This means that as we attain spiritual fullness, we can also reach the peaks in the aspects of our life that we wish to perfect. Beyond that, without much effort, we'll witness how our life transforms into a state of fullness. The ultimate spiritual fulfillment implies an elevation of our being to a life and a complete state, which will be reflected in our reality and the things we manifest. Everything we hold within ourselves is projected outward, including this sense of fullness. Each aspect of our life will ultimately align with our new state, and money will be no exception, because whether many accept it or not, it is an integral part of our earthly experience, intrinsic to our lifestyle and the new experiences we wish to access. That's why when people find themselves constantly visualizing this number, they are actually receiving a beautiful message that speaks of how their being is evolving and will ultimately manifest great wonders in their reality. One of these wonders will undoubtedly be a new level of economic fluidity, the abundance that is coming to settle in, and the complete eradication of debts and scarcity. This, in turn, leads to the elimination of all the associated feelings and anxieties. The energies moving around your life and the new economic reality you've been seeking are guaranteed to manifest through the constant visualization of the number 7. Number 6. A minor forced overcoming of challenges. As we always emphasize, The turn of our being towards a life of spirituality does not indicate that we will stop facing challenges or tests. These challenges are linked to evolution and the acquisition of true knowledge, which is a continuous process seemingly without an end. Dolores Cannon encouraged us to view each of these turning points as strong drivers of our life and being. She explained how each of these situations, each of these challenging and unpleasant events, becomes the perfect opportunity to improve some aspect of ourselves. It's important to understand that these moments are not universe attacks aiming to test your patience, resilience, or to undermine all the work you've done so far. On the contrary, everything is directed towards enhancing those aspects of life you are working on. Each of these things is geared towards bettering you, making your being more prepared to embrace what you're seeking, and facing everything you encounter in your day-to-day with optimism. If we can grasp this, we will consequently understand that everything that happens to us is necessary. From a more mature, conscious, and optimistic perspective, we can overcome any challenges because there are no trials on our path that we cannot conquer with the strength of our being. This point precisely addresses the awaited manifestation of abundance, prosperity, and a new financial reality approaching our lives. One of the signals we can detect as these manifestations draw near is the smoother overcoming of challenges. There will be no need to torment ourselves or exert extreme effort to find solutions to our concerns, because with a bit of help from the universe, everything will fall into place perfectly as it should. However, this is also closely tied to some points we've discussed earlier. A strong aid in overcoming these challenges will be the new mentality that will possess us. From this perspective, we will objectively view each part of the challenges, aligning our lives with what they should truly be. Every aspect of our reality will move in a perfect and strategic manner to align with the most beneficial outcome for our new financial reality. It's crucial to emphasize that the lack of worries and negative thoughts about money and our economic status will serve as a powerful enhancer of our being and its inner strength. From this standpoint, everything will be resolved. So, once you become aware that these issues and minor difficulties in your path find quick and smooth solutions, you must open your eyes to the fact that the moment of manifestation is closer than you think, and you should be prepared to experience it. Number 7. Inner calm intensifies. We must understand inner calm as a state of tranquility and harmony that we can experience from the balance of our soul and the equilibrium of our feelings and energies. Every part of us seems to align perfectly with the universe, interacting with it in harmony and respect, generating a unique and fulfilling sensation within us. Many people spend their entire lives seeking this calmness without obtaining results because they cling to feelings, beliefs, or ideas that limit them or prevent them from accessing a full spiritual life. The way our being develops will mark many aspects of our life, and as we become more evolved beings, we will see how the way we feel changes completely. What we experience will inevitably be associated with how we feel, which is why we often hear about coming to live in well-being. This is a popular phrase with a profound internal meaning. It's common for those who have chosen a path of self-improvement and spirituality to share the premise that we came to be in well-being. However, someone who has not yet awakened to our reality may hear this in an empty way. It's essential to open ourselves to the idea that we were created perfectly, and therefore it is normal for us to be balanced, fulfilled, and happy. A feeling and balance from which every aspect of our life will be transformed into one of success and fullness. As we've expressed before, the way we reach fulfillment will shape how our lives transform into it, manifesting a perfect reality where everything is in balance and no negative energies overpower us. Just imagine for a moment a reality where there are no debts that cannot be covered, where losses are perfectly designed to improve us and end up being compensated by great rewards. This reality is entirely possible, and will be marked by our arrival at the highest point of our being's evolution. This is something we internally know, so our soul seeks to guide us through the necessary points to achieve that fullness. Once it can visualize that precious blessing on the horizon, it makes all anxiety or negative feelings disappear from our being. Visualizing our goal on the horizon brings internal balance, and we experience that calmness, which in the past you may have felt in pieces, but today becomes so vast that it inundates every aspect of our life. If you are experiencing that sensation right now, I invite you to enjoy it, because it is one of the fruits of the significant internal work your being has been doing since the moment it arrived on this plane. Number 8. You will experience fortuitous alignments. First of all, let's define the concept of alignments. This refers to two things that end up coming together and harmonizing with each other perfectly. When they occur fortuitously, it indicates that there has been no human interference in them. Your soul has not played a leading role in what has unfolded. It's not about an accomplice who has organized things to make your moment or transition easier. It's about the universe arranging everything in the way it should so that we can achieve what we must at each point. Sometimes we observe how certain people seem to have everything fall at their feet. Opportunities, resources, people, everything seems destined for that person to achieve what they have set out to do. When this happens, we must understand that it is the externalization of the internal work that person has done. We should never attribute things to strokes of luck, because that is a fairly common habit in people, but it arises from a closed mindset that fails to see how the universe and your internal power can arrange everything in the necessary way for you to reach your goals. It's futile to think that only from the outside can we make things fall into place as they should be, so that we can take advantage of them, because, in reality, the external is a minimal aspect when it comes to achieving an objective. The heaviest burden of responsibility for our success or failure undoubtedly lies in that internal aspect that few end up giving true importance to, but when observed with due respect and value, it can end up playing in favor of our lives. From the depths of our being, we can see how the energy we possess and generate is capable of putting everything in the right place and moment for us to emerge victorious from every challenge, and for every project we initiate to ultimately be highly successful. Now, when we notice that things start to mesh perfectly, and even what was situated at the opposite end quickly changes to coordinate conveniently with our path and plan, we are not facing mere coincidences. In reality, we are facing the energies of the universe that support us and show us that what we work for is just around the corner. At this point, we should strive to work with more enthusiasm and reaffirm to ourselves that the path we have taken is the right one, so we should not deviate from it due to comments or external agents. These events show us a precious way the universe communicates with us and tells us that something good is about to come into our lives and realities. Number 9. Sharpened intuition and an increased sense of our emotions. Much has been said about intuition and its role in our lives, but for those who are not familiar with the term or have simply forgotten, it is necessary to recall the teachings of the illustrious Dolores Cannon. This woman spoke of the fact that each of us possesses an internal voice, a calling that, in crucial moments, guides us towards the best decisions we can make. This voice comes from our soul, our higher self, and the infinite and boundless information it holds. Let's remember that our soul has the ability to store information related to all the events we have experienced in the past and the knowledge and insights that the universe provides us. From there, it has the capacity to subtly lead us through each and every space we need to traverse. Dolores Cannon often spoke of how our journey can become more harmonious by listening to this voice and internalizing the messages it provides. Many times, this inner voice points out things that may seem absurd or inaccurate from our conscious perspective, but in practice, they end up making sense and serving a purpose. Therefore, there is always an emphasis on listening to ourselves and trusting in our own judgment. But what happens to us and that intuition when we are about to manifest a new financial reality? At these points, we feel it with greater strength, as if each time it involves decisions that will influence our economic stability, this voice takes center stage and shouts loudly. Rather than dismissing external knowledge about financial movements, we should combine it with what our internal voice tells us and have full confidence in ourselves at all times. The voice within us seems to become clearer and stronger as our journey to economic manifestation shortens. It will be a wonderful event and a unique opportunity to hear it with such fluency and strength. If at any point on your journey you detect that this is happening, you are not crazy, you haven't entered into paranoia. You are simply receiving a clear signal from the universe about what lies ahead for you and your life. That voice in your head doesn't come from a mental imbalance. It comes from your soul, which is now receiving messages and guidance from the universe more fluidly to guide you harmoniously and effectively in your pursuit of achieving your goals. Those who have reached this point must take advantage of what is happening and embrace with love, respect, and trust all the indications and knowledge being provided to expedite the process they are going through. Living this moment is recognizing the signs the universe gives us to encourage us not to deviate from the right path we have chosen for ourselves. Number 10. We begin to experience gratitude spontaneously. Gratitude is a powerful and beautiful force that has the ability to move everything in the world. Speaking of gratitude is talking about a clean, harmonious energy that tunes in spectacularly with the universe. But if gratitude is so beautiful, why can't we feel it always? The answer to this is closely linked to our level of consciousness and understanding of the universe and our soul. Gratitude cannot come from superficial aspects, nor does it manifest in its true form when we use it without feeling it within our being. That's why we see many cases where people claim to be grateful for what they have or experience, but in reality, the challenges they go through don't align with that gratitude. Gratitude is a precious treasure, one that very few can access, not because it's unavailable to all, but rather because some people are not willing to experience the intensity of this energy and let go of superficial aspects of life. More than holding on to ego or the external appearances of things, gratitude invites us to see what lies at the core of each thing and to bless its arrival in our lives, because whether we like it or not, it is necessary for our life and our journey. Our souls are on a journey of constant and perpetual evolution and refinement, and if we understand that, we must realize that even the challenges that come our way hold important lessons for our lives and our journey. The tools and skills we develop from within and during our turning points are vital when it comes to achieving what we desire and aligning ourselves with a dreamed reality. It's impossible to think that a person has materialized their aspirations and achieved their goals without practicing gratitude. Many focus on cultivating this skill to make their lives flow more harmoniously. But more incredible and surprising than this is the moment when gratitude arises spontaneously as a result of our inner work, bringing with it the ability to be thankful in every moment. Beyond being a result, this is also a sign, one that what we desire is closer than ever. Therefore, our soul reacts and does so with gratitude. We've talked about how economic abundance is a product of our refinement, so when we receive signals of this refinement, we also receive signals of the manifestation of our abundance. That new economic reality is approaching your life, and you know it from this new and spontaneous way of being thankful for every tiny aspect of your life. Number 11. We begin to value those small victories we have. This point is intimately connected with the previous one and speaks to how, through gratitude, we start to empower and give importance to the small victories we achieve on the path to manifesting the larger goal. Opening ourselves to see that on the road to success, there are small milestones marked by achievements is important to avoid getting desperate or frustrated as time passes without embracing our goal. Undoubtedly, One of the biggest controversies in our lives arises from impatience and the little patience we have with ourselves, which stems from our lack of confidence and fear of failure. People tend to see themselves as beings constantly under trial, with a high possibility of failure. At times it seems challenging for us to offer ourselves love, compassion, and faith. The truth is that it's interesting to evaluate why we treat ourselves so harshly, and many have concluded that this occurs due to our lack of internal development. A person who reaches fulfillment in the spiritual realm perfectly understands that faith in oneself and in the process is a key part of success. They stop seeing those points where they need to trust their abilities as a challenge. Similarly, a person who has balanced their being will understand that love is a wonderful energy that should be given to ourselves first. They start practicing self-love, praising and showing themselves affection and support at every step of the way.
One of the greatest demonstrations of love we can give ourselves is to celebrate our achievements, celebrating the way we have overcome a stage, crossed a barrier, or embraced a part of that goal in our lives.
This is precisely what today's point is about, because it's important to know that it's not necessary to have the entire reward for our work all at once. The achievement of that goal can come in fragments. Every little thing you achieve puts you one step closer to what you desire. By celebrating, you are not delaying or stopping yourself. On the contrary, you are giving your being an extra push and greater motivation. When you notice that this ability to celebrate and feel proud of yourself becomes recurrent in economic matters, it's because that new financial reality is unfolding upon you. These small achievements can range from obtaining a new job to settling a significant debt in your life. What matters beyond their form is the way you spontaneously applaud yourself for what you have achieved. Number 12. A growing number of coincidences. When we see things aligning in favor of something in a random but precise way, we tend to call them coincidences. However, behind that, there is much more than simple isolated events converging. There are energies and forces from the universe moving everything perfectly. This is something we can observe in any stretch of our lives, and these coincidences can be related to any aspect of our reality. However, when we focus on the financial realm, the recurrence of these coincidences seems a bit less common. Yet, when we are about to experience that long-awaited reality that is the result of our transformation, coincidences regarding money and its derivatives seem to become an everyday occurrence. This may surprise many, but rather than a lucky period for us, what this stretch of our lives is indicating is that we are getting closer and closer to living the dream of many, embracing that prosperity and allowing abundance to settle into our lives. This is a pivotal moment for us, announced by these recurring coincidences in our daily lives, which may vary in form but always come with a positive factor for us. That's why it's essential to appreciate when things seem to coincide and delve into the energy they carry and what they are trying to tell us. Because receiving this message from the universe might be inviting us not to falter and to intensify our efforts in what we do. So let's detail our lives, be honest in evaluating and telling ourselves how things from opposite ends are coinciding for us. Coincidences truly do not exist. What does exist is causality, and that effect derived from each of the actions we execute. Therefore, thinking that the path aligns is not entirely correct. What has aligned is you with the forces of the universe, learning how to use them in your favor. You are learning to use your internal strength and to make your vibrations send the right messages to the universe. The commands you give from the depths of your being are truly oriented towards what you are seeking, and that is externalized. Number 13. You will have an enhanced and intensified ability to manifest. It is clear that internal work always bears fruit, where the healed or improved aspect aids in manifesting desired things. In the economic realm, this capacity for manifestation becomes even more evident. When we talk about economy and finances, we are inevitably led to think about money and assets. In other words, all events related to this end up being manifestations of our state in relation to the energy of abundance and prosperity. Most people experience challenging realities dominated by debts, scarcity, and losses because they are unable to heal their relationship with money and the energies associated with it. Another crucial point regarding the manifestation of money, abundance, and prosperity is undoubtedly the vision and understanding we have of it. When we perceive things as external factors, our ability to modify them is reduced and sometimes neutralized. This is why we see external factors veering away from our aspirations. But when we are about to embrace that abundance and new economic reality, we must understand that, as a consequence, we have healed those internal aspects in conflict with this energy. It is here that we can see that everything we aim for, in one way or another, finds its way into our reality. Embracing it becomes easy with harmony, respect, and above all, gratitude. Each thought residing in our mind is possible to achieve, and it is from our being that we access it. Therefore, we should not doubt our abilities, but trust and let them surprise us. So when you notice the ease with which you manifest things now, applaud yourself. That challenging process you are going through to embrace abundance is reaching its crucial point, and soon you will have in reality everything you longed for in the past. This is how the universe will tell you that you've done well, that you shouldn't falter, and that you should fill yourself with joy for your achievements. Pay close attention to the signs, and it will be easy for you to understand. Number 14. Joy and optimism. This final point I want to discuss is perhaps the culmination of everything I've been talking about in the video. The way all these events come together will only make the manifestation of joy in your life possible. When suddenly you experience a sense of accomplishment, happiness, pride, and optimism for what lies ahead, that's when you understand that the moment has arrived. You are embracing that precious manifestation of a new economic reality, and it has been made possible by everything you have been through. Just think about it for a moment. Sit down and reflect on everything you have gone through, every difficult moment, every turning point, every inflection moment that you managed to overcome. In my humble opinion, this is one of the most beautiful and precious signs that the universe can share with you. It's like allowing you to experience in advance what this manifestation will bring to your being. Your soul will see that its work has come to an end, at least in this very particular aspect, and you'll feel that you can touch with your fingers the fruit of such precious labor, something that no one can take away because you created it, from scratch, from your healing. There's nothing more beautiful in life than knowing that we've succeeded, even when we faced many challenging moments, because in the end, what matters is how we've grown, the unique way we've evolved, and the universe confirms it with our reward. Feeling these emotions intensely inevitably leads us to understand that the precious moment has arrived, that we've succeeded, and if everything else didn't make us realize we were close, the imminent vision on the horizon is a clear sign that we managed everything. You will feel empowered, strong, capable, and daring, as if nothing at this point can bring you down, and no one can take away what is rightfully yours because you worked hard to have it. In reality, this is the sensation you should experience every day of your life, because this is how your true self is revealed, the reality of your soul. You are living and measuring your strength as it truly is. No one can experience this without going through a profound moment of internal change and healing. So, when you finally achieve it, the most important thing is to determine never to return to a state of lack. From this moment on, debts, deficiencies, and scarcity have ended in your life. The universe is telling you this simultaneously with your soul celebrating it. Therefore, understand this message that is being given to you, as it is a moment of victory, and not a small one, but an immense one. I congratulate everyone who has managed to experience each of these signs and invite you to share your experiences through the comments, because each one is a testimony of how the strength of our being can take us very far. If you like this content, please support me with a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because here we are going together to create and maintain a space to share knowledge, tools, and testimonies of what this spiritual life can bring to our realities. Lastly, if you feel that someone needs to receive this message, don't hesitate to share this video with that person. I invite you to gather again on another occasion to continue growing together. See you soon.